Hello there viewers and students. If you are belonging to an academic career of Bachelors, Masters, M.Phil or even PhD degree, then today's video is really important for you because having a knowledge of critical book review is very important for a researcher. Even if you are a researcher who is conducting his or her research individually on any published book, even then this video is very helpful for you because developing the concept of critical book review is really important for you. So keep watching this video and you are gonna get this all information that you need for making a critical book review effectively and successfully. Students, this portion is about author's argument. This is also an important part of your evaluation. This portion should be consisting of 2 to 3 paragraphs of your critical evaluation, and secondly, what you have to answer and what you have to concentrate in this section is that you have to be focused on the main points of the author's argument in the book. You don't need to be very expanded and you are not required to discuss each and every point mentioned in the book. So, what you need to keep in mind when you are going through this portion of your evaluation is that you have to discuss all the main points of the author. You might be making a structure of book through mapping. You might be telling your reader how the book has been structured. Your mapping should be such a mannered briefed. Secondly, what you need to do is abridge what author has argumented in each division, section or in deleted chapters. Abridging author's arguments in separate portions with relevancy and through taking out main points is very appreciated for your evaluation process. Secondly, if new key terms or distinctions have been introduced in the book, those might be summarized. You should be presenting a summarized narration of the new key terms or distinctions. Those are specifically related to the book that you are going to evaluate critically. Because anything that has been produced out there as a new one that is needed to be mentioned by you. And thirdly, your major emphasis of this section should be on the questions as to how the argument has been structured and reasoned, and what are the distinctions or key terms in the book as narrated above, how the argument has been structured, we discussed above what you need to do, and what are the distinctions or key terms in the book as we discussed above is here. You have to appreciate or evaluate or criticize or the things those are existed within the book that you are evaluating. So this portion consisting of 2 to 3 paragraphs of your critical evaluation might be answering the argumentative portion of author in this book, but your concentration should be in this way that you are only summarizing the main points of the author's argument. Peripheral topics or points need not to be mentioned in this section. So now moving on towards step 4. This step is about discussion of weaknesses. Students, in this portion you have to concentrate that a weakness of the argument should be isolated. And this type of weakness is that all the inconsistencies, falseness, omissions, those have been made in the book that you are going to review should be isolated. Secondly, what you have to do is evaluate of the book in such a way that it is not being relying on the terms from outside. But you need to keep in mind that you are not evaluating the book from any outside source reference. What you are doing is that first of all you are taking its own key terms and evaluation in order to evaluate the book. You are not supposed to compare the work of the author with the work of other outside sources. Those are not relevant to the discipline. Those are not concerned with the discipline or the topic or the thesis of the author. Thirdly, what you have to do is your major emphasis in this section should be on the questions. This portion of your evaluation that might be consisting of 2 to 3 paragraphs for your writing should be answering following questions. Has the author missed something? Is there anything that misleads the readers or makes the situation confused for them? Does the book meet the accomplishment level in accordance with the purpose of the statement? These are very basic questions. Those are required to be answered in order to explore the weaknesses. What authors have missed? But that exploration should be in literary form. That should not be like this subjective opinion. I didn't like this. It was too hard to read. What you have to do is your expression in a educative and literary manner that should be discussing the basic weaknesses. So, after answering this question, you have to concentrate is the book misleading the readers, or is it making them confused? Very important to be known by you as a evaluator. And thirdly, and most importantly, what author has stated in his thesis. Is it building the argument in accordance with that? Is he discussing the solution in accordance with that? Is it meeting the standards as laid down by the author? These all things needed to be answered, needed to be evaluated by you in 2 to 3 paragraphs. Now moving towards next step. The next step is about the strengths of the book that you need to discuss, as well as we discussed weaknesses in the previous portion. This portion of your book evaluation should be consisting of at least 2 to 3 paragraphs, and what you have to concentrate in this portion is that you must be expressing your views about strengths of the book, but not in a subjective approach. You should not be using the phrases like I like this or I dislike this. You should be giving your argument through making analysis that has the book being expressed through reasoning and logics. Is the book coherent or having unity? Is the structure of the book is better, or illustrations have been made or not? Is the book authentic? Have the sources been incorporated in this book? So what you need to do next is in order to express as to why the thesis of the book done by the author is not detracted, put some new twist on some prevailing weaknesses. You have to strengthen the weaknesses, those are not affecting the book or its overall impression of strength, through some twisting. What you have to do next is evaluation of book must be relying on its own terms. Already discussed in the previous slide that your evaluation should not be outsourced. You should not be doing this from the terminologies of outside sources. Your major evaluation should be depending on the terms from the book. And lastly, The major question that you need to answer in this section should be addressing that what makes the author cogent and eloquent, how his argument is fluent, how he is consistent, how he is clear. So you have to give this credit to the author, and you might be adding this thing for its evaluation.